Welcome to another edition of Vigorously with me, Val Hands. Excited to get into the grunge of it all this episode. We are sitting with Reece, Identity Crisis in the building. Sir, how are you? It is a pleasure.
I'm doing great. Honestly, I can't complain. Well, actually, I hurt my foot like 2 days ago, so
What'd you
I'm
do?
boot. I was playing soccer and I went for a tackle and hurt my ankle. But other than that, no complaints for
World
sure.
Cup is over. Like, we don't have to try so hard.
Well, that's the thing. Like you watch the World Cup and you get inspired, and then you're like,
Yeah.
I got to go out there and do this myself. But it usually doesn't end well. Me at least.
Well, let's talk about something that you're definitely better at, which is music. Congratulations on the Star VP. It is out. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling great. I mean, we've gotten a lot of great feedback so far. Obviously our diehard fans are loving it and getting some new fans as well. So a little bit mix of both, and it's been great. We worked
Yes.
hard on it.
I want to talk about those new fans too, because I did peep the live the other night.
Yeah.
And Brazil is up in here,
Yep.
Denmark is up in here. It is crazy. Like, holy representation, Batman. You are global. Why do you think you're resonating around the world right now?
Honestly, I mean, I always say this. I believe music is a, you know, what's the word? Universal language.
Mhm.
That makes sense. And I just think that music is just one of the things that connects people throughout the entire world, no matter where you're at. And luckily, we're blessed enough to where, people connect with our music in a way
Mhm.
to where we can reach, people that don't even speak English. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's a beautiful thing.
it is. Tell me about the moment you first realized music had that hold on you.
Honestly, I mean, just growing up and seeing all these bands that they're going to these. I remember really early on a main one specifically was Guns N' Roses in Tokyo.
Hmm.
And you have these fans that, like I said, they don't even speak English, or I'm sure some of them do, but most of them don't,
Right.
right? But they're singing your song word for word in a language that they're not even familiar with, and that is seeing that early on really made me realize the impact of music on people for sure.
It's going to happen with Identity Crisis. The longer this goes on, I think we're going to just see it more and more and more. The Break Me video too is something that I always want to talk about. That had to be a lot of fun to film. just
It
just
was,
looking at smashing things. I mean, tell me
yeah.
about filming that.
It was amazing. I mean, we all definitely had to take a shower after. Uh, there. Joey, who was our videographer, actually our first time ever shooting with him. We usually shoot with this guy named Matakana, who's great. He does, most of our stuff, a lot of Return to Dust stuff and Scarhaven and a lot of the new grunge bands. He just did like Ryan Purd's video.
Mhm.
Anyways, Matakana wasn't available because he was in Europe, so we got with this new guy named Joey, and he was fucking great, man. Chemistry was there. We had a great time. Obviously got to break a lot of shit, and I had this idea, of taking a song that's not very hard, and having a kind of sort of contrast of, look, we're, breaking stuff, and it ended up going really well, and we were all very pleased with it. So I'm glad you like it.
I can imagine that it's also a little bit therapeutic
A little
somehow.
bit, actually, the way you're telling me, I like people literally sometimes they have stuff going on, and they go in there and they'll break down crying and stuff doing it. It's really releasing.
Mm,
And I was talking to the workers, like I said, about it, and they're like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of therapeutic in a way,
it's
and
what they
they
do.
help people get through stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, we need more of that, as much of that as we can get in the world. But what's harder to clean up after that or doing some pull-ups on a New York City subway? Because I caught that too. That was
Well,
great.
luckily, we didn't have to clean up the break room, really. I guess
Okay, good.
they get paid to clean it, so we didn't have to clean it. But yeah, the hands thing, that was unexpected. I mean, not really though. I should have thought that it was going to be pretty nasty up there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to New York once, and for me, that was kind of all it took. I was like, okay, I think I got my fill. I did this once. We're
Yeah.
good. We've seen what we need to see. I'm out. I mean, but you've been leaving Texas quite a bit lately. And was that your first time in New York?
It was actually my third time.
Hmm.
I went when I was really young with some family, and then couple years ago, I went to audition for American Idol in New
Oh,
York City, and I didn't end up making it.
what?
Um, yeah, but everyone has different tastes, I guess. Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan weren't too fond of it, but Carrie Underwood told me yes, so I always say I love you, Carrie.
Oh yeah, we
Awesome.
love Carrie. Carrie, I think, is a closet metalhead. She kind of
Oh,
is.
yeah,
Like,
she's a
not,
rocker.
she full. Well, yeah, maybe she's not like closeted now. We'll say because we know she's done her thing with Motley Crue since. She's even done her thing with Axl on stage. She got
Yeah.
Axl to sing with her. Like now that that's out, I'm like, thank you. Can we have
She
more
opened
Carrie
the
Underwoods?
guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, can we have more Carrie Underwoods of the world? It's like speaking on their love of this music, please.
Right. And she was super sweet, and she gave me a yes, and it was kind of a full circle moment because like I walked out of the rehearsal room, or not, I guess the audition room, not the rehearsal room,
Hmm.
when I was finished, and um, cameras are in your face. Did you
Oh,
make it? Did you not make it? And obviously, I feel like shit because I didn't make it.
yeah.
So I just looked in the camera, and I had James, my best friend, our bass player. He had come with me, and I grabbed him, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do something with my band. And then I
Yeah.
think almost 2 years to the date, almost I believe, we went back to New York, and I performed the same song that I did on American Idol and got told no. I did that same song now on the lip service studio session, and it was just kind of a full circle moment, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Now you get to go back and say, this is what I've been doing the whole time. You're sleeping. Everybody's out here sleeping, and this is what I can do.
But it just goes to show you, I mean, music is subjective,
It
and I'm
is.
going to be people that don't like what you're doing, and you're just going to have to accept that. That doesn't mean they're wrong.
Right.
People like different stuff.
Yeah. So you're hinting at a long history with James anyway, but how about for the rest of Identity Crisis? Is that the case for everybody? How did that come together?
Parker, I've known Parker since really the start of the band.
Hmm.
Um, he's originally from San Antonio, Texas. Me and James are both from Corpus Christi, and James met Parker through college. And then as soon as we started this band, that's kind of the only time I've spent with him really is the past 3 years. But obviously, when you're in a band with someone, you get a lot closer with them than you would with other people in your life,
Right.
you would imagine. So I've gotten very close with him. But James, man, I mean, me and James are tight on another level.
Are you still spending time? I know at one point I think you were living together. Are we doing that still?
I guess you could say that. I mean,
We're over the house anyway.
technically, like we're kind of scattered right now, but we do spend a lot of time in the same house, which is
Hmm.
James' house over here in Corpus. So
Yeah. And I'm sure that at least how it looks online is that you guys are not just strategic, but very cohesive minded in how you're marketing yourselves, how you're growing your fan base. I was super impressed. You already have over 2,000 followers on Instagram alone. So tell me more about what went into building that fan base.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's really much thought put into it. And I think that's the beauty of it. I think that anyone and doing anything, if you just chase something that you enjoy doing, people will follow that instead of, trying to chase a certain outcome. I think if you just find something you love and you
Hmm.
do it, people will catch on to that and it'll show. A lot of our videos that have gone viral, a lot of our videos that connect with people are really raw and authentic. And, we just set up a camera and we're just sitting in the backyard playing music. And I think people connect with that because it's real. It's not something
Hmm.
that you're trying to manufacture. You know what I mean? And a lot of that's missing nowadays, especially with all the AI going around. The way music is nowadays, a lot of people aren't writing their own stuff, and there's
Yeah.
a ton of effects on people's voices. And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of music that has stuff like that, but as for rock, at least, people want that authenticity again, and I think that's part of our brand, and I think that's part of why people connect with our band.
Is this also why it's resonating right now with Gen Z? Like, of course, hip hop, we know Gen Z's into that. We know Gen Z's into country as well. But there is still a sector that is into heavy music.
Mhm.
Why do you think that heavy music still resonates with Gen Z?
I think it's the same reason why, you know, Gen Z likes rap and I believe that it's rebellious in a way. It's kind of, can make them feel like they're outside of social norms. And that can feel empowering, especially to younger people who haven't really found their identity yet.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
right. Tell me about finding the identity of identity crisis. Like, obviously, you get the label of grunge, and there is an obvious love for grunge in your music.
Right.
Was that the intention the entire time, or where does that love originate?
You think for grunge
Hmm.
in particular? I would say that, I mean, obviously a lot of our favorite bands are grunge bands. I mean, we have bands outside of grunge bands and even like artists outside of rock that we love, that we all take inspiration from. But I think in terms of making rock music, um, we don't, whenever we're writing, like kind of diving into the writing process a bit, I wouldn't say we necessarily chase a certain sound or I don't like to put a label on what we're creating, at least during the writing process, because I feel like if you're going to do that, you're really limiting yourself. Because you could make a song, for example, we posted a video of a teaser of Break Me before it came out and asked the fans, like, what does this remind you of? And people are saying all different sorts of stuff. Obviously, we get a lot of the Pearl Jam, SCP comparisons, but people are saying all sorts of different bands, And I think when we're writing, you know, we don't really focus on, okay, we need to sound like grunge or we need to sound
Mm.
like SCP or Pearl Jam. I think we just write and leave it up to the people to put a label on it, because one day, who knows, we might come out with some shit that sounds like fucking Led Zeppelin.
Uzi, we're getting
Or
crush
Uzi.
them.
Yeah, yeah, Uzi. There
We're
you go.
getting Uzi up in here with crush them. No, I mean, but to that
What a
point,
good album.
yes, pink tape. Yes,
I'm
yeah. That's my favorite of
a
his.
huge Uzi guy.
Yes. Okay, so you get
Yeah.
it.
He's my
And
favorite.
but to his point, to your point, to what we're seeing a lot in music today, genre blending is everywhere. Genre blending is not something we're shying away from anymore. Generally, what is your take on genre blending?
I think it's beautiful because at the end of the day, I think if when you're making art, like I just said earlier, if you're chasing something that somebody's already done, if you're chasing a certain sound, ultimately you're limiting yourself, you
Mm,
know? Try to think outside the box, try something new. Don't be scared to experiment. And that's how the great artists come to be, You want to do something that is new and people are like, "Wow." Even though like us, for example, we have our influences, but we want to be as new and fresh as possible because like if people want to hear Pearl Jam, they're gonna go listen to Pearl Jam.
right.
People want to hear STP or Candlebox, they're gonna go listen to those bands, right? Those things already exist. So it's like, how are you gonna take your influences and your inspirations and turn it into something that is unique and that is your own? And genre blending can do that.
Yeah. Is that something that you ask yourself every time you sit down to write? What is it that we're doing that's going to make this unique?
Yes and no. I would say definitely like you know, how can we make this us? But also, to my point I said earlier, when you're writing, things just kind of happen. You're not really thinking about, you know, this needs to sound like this, or this guitar part needs to sound like this vocal need. I mean, to a certain extent, you're writing a song, you have it in your head how you want it to sound, but not chasing it. Kind of let it happen and let it flow. If that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Makes total sense. And it sounds like maybe there's some room for genre blending within Identity Crisis as
So,
you continue.
yeah. I mean, artists evolve, people evolve.
Exactly. So back to the Star VP, though, I have so many questions specifically about this. Do you feel like Pictures might be the saddest song on the EP?
Totally. Most emotional, I don't know. I think Get There to me is one of my favorites. I
Mhm.
get emotional every time we play that one, for sure. But Pictures, as far as being sad, I think so. I think that
Yeah.
might take the crown.
What is it about Get There that hits for you?
I think it was just, when I wrote it, the period of my life that I was in, and I mean, there's three of us. I'm not the only one. I'm only speaking for myself, but
Mhm.
um, where I was at mentally. financially, spiritually, during that time. It was just a rough spot. And I just remember the night, you know, I was really going through it, and just like I am right now, I came to James's house because James and his family helped me through it all. But
Yeah.
it was like 2 in the morning, and I came to James's house, and I just grabbed the acoustic and I just started, messing around. And sometimes the mood that you're in and the way that you're feeling can really affect what comes out of the guitar, right? So I'm just playing around, and I start tuning the guitar differently, and messing with the tuning and to my liking. And I don't know, I came up with that song, Get There, the intro riff and everything. And I really just came up with the riff. And on my way home, it was like 3 a.m. I had work the next day,
Of
and
course.
I just I told myself I'm gonna stay up. I'm not gonna go to sleep. Like, I need to. The song is in my head right now. I need to finish it. And I just wrote out these lyrics that just meant a lot to me. And it was the most honest, truth that I could tell at that time and in that moment. And, you know, going to Jim Kaufman and recording it and putting it down. And uh production wise, like, he didn't even really want to change much of the song. I think it stayed exactly the same as we wrote it. And it just I think everyone can relate to like the message of that song, as for a lot of our songs, but I think that one in particular, um, was something that the message is something that I always struggle with, or have struggled with in the past. And that is like really just stressing about circumstances that haven't come yet, and things that
Mm.
you can only really control what's going on in the moment. And a lot of people, I know I do personally, get caught up in worrying about the future and what's going to happen. And, but really just worry about it once you get there, because all you can really do is control what's happening right in front of you.
In the moment. And there is something about 2 and 3 in the morning. That's what my anxiety is like. It really, I don't know why, but it's like, was the tone in that email, was that good? Was that bad? Was that terrible? Like, there's something about that time in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is, but I did read that there's like a cortisol spike in your body as you inch toward the morning, and then it kind of like reduces again as the day goes on. I don't know if there's anything to that, but that's I'm gonna blame it on that. Is what I'm gonna blame it
Yeah,
on
blame it
whenever
on
I'm
that. Like,
whenever I feel that way. So I was gonna ask if Get There was the hardest song to put together just because of the sensitive nature of it, but it doesn't sound like it was. It sounds like it came together pretty quickly.
yeah, I mean, totally. It was just one of those things again where it kind of just happened. You know,
Hmm.
you pick up the guitar, something happens, and then you start writing lyrics, and it kind of just flows, and it just comes out of you in a way.
Yeah.
And then obviously I take the song to James and Parker, and they do their thing, which they're great. They always, I love the collaborativeness that we have in the band, the chemistry we have. I mean, they're so talented, and I love creating music with them. It's,
Is
it's a good time.
is that chemistry rooted in trust?
Uh, yeah, I think trust plays a big part in that. I mean, I trust them. I trust that James is going to kill it every time. I trust that Parker's going to kill it every time. And I think in return, they, trust what I'm going to do as well.
Yeah. What song as a collective, what song are all of you most proud of from Starve?
Wow. I mean, they're going to say starve. So I'll just say starve
I'll
because
just, I'll just go with them. Okay.
majority rules, you know. But I mean, I agree with that though. I think starve started as, it was very, how would I wouldn't say simple, but it was kind of just four chords, and that's it. Um, James has like revised his bass line and has this really great groove going on under the song, and it really brings it to life. And then Parker's solo is unreal. I love his solo on that song. And the song went from being kind of like you know, one that I wouldn't say I didn't care for, but I liked others more, into a song that I love and James
Mm.
always loved. And Parker loves as well.
So as you're putting this together, as it's all coming to life, is there a moment that happens that reminds the three of you, oh wow, this is like the first time we realized we had chemistry. This is reinforcing that.
I mean, yes, yeah, I would say so because sometimes, obviously sometimes when you're writing songs, it doesn't work and you're trying to make something and it might suck. But then once you get in a room and it all clicks, like you said, it kind of re-sparks that feeling where you all look at each other with a smile on your face and you're like, it's happening, you know?
Do you remember the first time that clicked for the three of you? Where you're like, oh, we can make something with this.
The first time we got
Yeah, as a group.
honestly, uh yeah, the first time we got in a room together, I remember like feeling this feeling that I've never felt before. I've recorded music since high school, and when I got into a room with these guys and started playing like actual instruments live in a live setting, it was just something that like I said, I had never felt. Me and James had instant chemistry just because we've been friends for so long before either of us touched an instrument. And then I think bringing Parker in, who was also just a young, hungry college kid, and then our original drummer Max at the time, who same thing, he was this young kid who just wanted to play, and we all just connected in that way, and we all shared that. And I mean, I definitely felt the chemistry since day one, for sure.
How is the search for a drummer going? Is that still on, or did
Uh,
we have
it's
somebody
fun.
maybe?
It depending on when this airs. I don't know if I can say,
Okay.
but uh, I think we may have found our guy.
Okay.
It's
Positive sign. So we're excited about that.
correct. Yeah, yeah, we're very excited about that.
Cool. And I heard another little story that I wanted to ask you about that somehow you met the members of STP or at least Jeff.
Yeah,
Or
so
okay.
our producer Jim Kaufman, who's badass, he's also a Return to Dust producer. He does a lot of the new grunge stuff as well, like Scarhaven and all them. So we met Jim. We started working, on the EP with Jim, and that started going well. And I don't know, all of a sudden, Jim calls me one day, and he's like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna throw you in a group text with Jeff from STP." I was like, "What?"
What?
Like, whoa. 'Cause the
We
way
are
Jim,
not
like,
prepared.
Jim will call you and throw some shit on you and say it in the like nonchalant, casual way, and then I have to you know, take it all in. And Jim's a busy guy, so he'll be like literally, he calls me, I pick up the phone. Yo, dude, I'm gonna get you on the phone with Jeff from SCP. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you gotta go later. Like, boom. I'm like, okay. So we just started a group text and we started, texting back and forth and um we hopped on FaceTime with Jeff, started writing a little bit of music together and
Okay.
um he ended up coming to Corpus I believe the month after that and he had us backstage and we met Robert and Eric and Dean and all the guys and who were really awesome, sweet dudes. And Jeff is fucking badass. And he comes to the studio every time we're in LA and recording. And he just likes to be around. And he's such a nice dude. Um, he tells me all the lore about his early band days and all those sort of things. And he's really awesome. I enjoy spending time with him for sure.
It sounds like he's somebody you can turn to as a mentor of
Oh,
sorts as you
totally.
continue.
Totally. Yeah. Because I mean he's been through it.
Hmm.
He's in it. I mean he's a lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots. I don't think it gets any more
That's a
real.
crash course. That's a master
Right.
class.
I don't think it gets any more real than that. So definitely, I mean, there's been totally been times where, he's given me great advice or,
Yeah.
I'm asking him for advice and it's definitely someone I can look to in those sorts of situations.
When it comes to that advice, what is something he told you that like still sticks with you today?
Uh, One main thing that he told me that, it's pretty obvious, but hearing it from him obviously hits a little harder, but it's just being careful who you surround yourself with.
Mm.
and just watch your back, out here because it can get crazy.
And we do that. Maybe we protect ourselves by just keeping our closest ones that we can trust around
Correct.
us. Yeah.
Correct.
It's important to do. I mean, that's just a good general life lesson, I would say, music industry or not.
For sure.
But so I also heard possibly, maybe that there might be a debut album in process, or that might be in the works. So I was wondering, are there any maybe lessons learned while making the EP that you're going to apply to the album process?
Totally. I mean, we're in two completely different places when we made both of these projects. By the way,
Mm.
album is recorded. Uh, we recorded it we started it in January. We just finished it at the end of May. So,
Okay.
um, we're gonna start rolling that out here pretty soon. But I mean, we're in two different places when we made each of these products. You know what I mean? Um, projects, sorry. Um, when we made the album, we were all living together in this band house, and we were just demoing songs every day almost, and um, it was different than being in our hometown and being separated all the time, and
Mm.
we're all working full-time jobs, and we're trying to write music when we can, and this and that. To now, we're doing this full time, and we're in a house together, and we have nothing to do but write songs. So
Yeah.
definitely we're able to refine and musically, it's getting better. Lyrically, sonically, just everything is improving. And but that happens when you're stuck, four dudes are stuck in a house together for 8 months, you know what I mean? It's can't avoid it.
Yeah. And I though you're open to different sounds, different projects, writing with a broad approach. I mean, does it ever freak you out though when you listen back to what you've done? Because to me anyway, and maybe to you too, it still sounds cohesive. It still sounds like it's you.
Yeah, I mean totally. Sometimes there's that moment, usually when you're drinking, where you're like, wow, like we made this, you know?
That's
Uh,
us.
yeah, but definitely, I mean, the more you do it though, the more you get used to it, you know. Like people always ask me, what is it like hearing yourself? Because I hate hearing myself or this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I've been making music for fucking since I was like 13. Like I'm used to hearing myself. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know. I get asked the same question too sometimes, but when I used to be like on the air, like in my local cities,
right,
and you would record ahead and it would play later, and you'd be at your Walgreens and you hear yourself, and then you're talking to the cashier and she does a double take, like, "Are you? Wait, how are you there? And also in front of my face?" Like
right.
I've had that moment. I'm like, and of
Yeah,
course it happens then. Has
yeah.
that happened to you yet, where you're like recognized in a weird place?
Um, yeah. I mean, totally. I've been like, where I'm sleeping at my mom's house, right? And my little sister, who I have a younger sister named Hannah. She'll have like a friend over, and I'll be there, and she's like, "Hey, look, it's my brother. He's a famous rock star." I'm such a famous rock star. I'm sleeping on my mom's couch right now. But it's just, yeah, I mean, shit happens. I mean, in the hometown, usually, you get caught up in
Right.
weird, weird places, out at the gym or
Yeah.
the grocery store when I'm in my freaking Birkenstocks and fucking sweatpants
Buying,
and
yeah,
golf.
buying your
Uh,
supplies.
yeah, buying my shit. But it's part of the game.
It is. It's so funny. You can't escape it. You're grateful for it, and yet it has a way of humbling you
Yeah,
every single time. It really does. You're like, oh, okay. Yep, I'm still this person, still in my town, still doing my thing.
totally.
So we know we talked a little bit about the album that is on the way. We're celebrating the EP right now. Beyond that, are we thinking tour? What else do we have to look forward to in the future?
For the rest of the year, we have some shows lined up starting at the end of September. I think October, November are going to be pretty full. So we'll have our new drummer out on the road with us. We're going to start rolling out, these singles for the next project.
Yeah,
And I mean things are looking up. I'm very excited. We just hired our manager, Andrew Purcell, who's great. He's been a huge addition to the team so far. So yeah, I mean, just looking at next year, trying to get on some festivals, more touring, all those sort of things, and just releasing music, new merch, which I'm very excited
yes.
about. That's gonna be awesome. We have some great designs on the way, and yeah, I'm just very excited to get the ball rolling more and keep it rolling.
I know. And we're going to watch socials because I know this is where everything is going to be announced. So thank you so much, Reese, for checking in, getting excited about the Star VP and everything else that's on the way. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.